Chapter 15. Case 1. All the side effects IANDS Experiencer number 4 in 1969, when the Apollo astronauts sent back photos of the Earth taken from the Moon, I realized what I had experienced was real because I had seen these images 10 years beforehand. I never told my parents, and my siblings were told after my parents passed. All the while I felt I had recovered a memory of being in between lives. I never thought I had an NDE until I read an article in one of my nursing magazines 2 years ago. It listed the physical and psychological side effects of an NDE. I almost fell off my chair as I read. I had almost all of the side effects listed. For years I've been struggling with being sensitive to loud noise, violence, and bright light. Even the slightest dim light at night bothers me. My normal body temperature is usually 97 or below. I react violently to some medications. And I've had 2 episodes of anaphylaxis with no discernible cause. The allergist told me I was an enigma. I can't wear a watch for too long because it will run fast, slow down, or just stop working. Right now I have a dead battery in my watch, but as soon as I put it on, it starts to run and will keep running until I take it off. I can't be around electrical things for too long because they will malfunction. Sometimes computers will suddenly drop offline when I walk into the room. In fact, this is my 3rd attempt to type all of this and send it to you. The keyboard just seizes up and I can't type. I have always had some ESP ability. I just know when things are going to happen, and I can sometimes read minds. I can get just about any plant to grow. And animals love me. One of my friends has a cat, Chubby, who is afraid of people. She runs and hides when company comes over. Yet, when I come over, Chubby runs right over to me wanting to be held. One day, as I sat at my friend's kitchen table drinking tea, the next thing we knew, Chubby was outside at the kitchen window frantically clawing to get in. Once she was let in, she immediately jumped into my lap. My friend never ceases to be amazed. Even bees and wasps listen to me. If they get in the house, all I have to do is open the door, call them and they fly right out. Now at work, I'm called the bug lady because I can get any bug to go outside. I have had many prophetic dreams. When I was 11, I dreamed my dad was going to die 2 days before he did. I told my sister about the dream, but she didn't believe me. She certainly changed her feelings when my mom got the phone call that dad was dead. After that, for about 6 months, I was in constant contact with dad. I felt his presence on my right shoulder. All I had to do was think of him and there he was. I could hear his voice in my head and he would answer any questions that I had. My mom found out what I could do and she started begging me to ask daddy all sorts of things. After a while I started to get spooked by all this, so I asked my mom not to make me ask dad any more questions. I always felt the need to nurture. That's why I became a nurse. My patients tell me that I have a very calming presence. Now I am a Reiki master. Although I don't have a practice yet, I do give Reiki on a consistent basis. Many people comment on my healing hands. Once I gave Reiki to an autistic girl who lost the ability to speak. I told her I would try to make her feel better. I had my hands on her head for a few minutes when she grabbed my hands and took them off her head. I thought I had probably bothered her, but she put my hands on her face and proceeded to kiss them. I have often felt that I'm not of this world. It's hard to explain, but I feel out of place. Even though I love life and am so thankful for each and every day, part of me wants to be back home. I often wonder what would have happened if I could have retrieved more of that memory. It was so frustrating to be so close to going up the stairs, then be yelled at and sent back to my body. I have tried numerous times to go back to that memory, but I just can't get past that booming voice. Oh well, someday I will. Case 2. Tell her about the light near-death experiencer Louisa Peck. I remembered my near-death experience perfectly, including the bliss of love from the light I encountered. I missed it terribly. At my core, I knew the light was real, but I didn't want to admit it. At the time, even after my NDE, I was an adamant atheist. Anybody who believed in God, or talked about God, just pissed me off. So I discounted my experience. Get this, I told one friend, I had this crazy drug trip. It seems like I'm going into the sun. In other words, I was really good at denial. I was raised in a family that dismissed all spirituality as religion, and religion was an archaic way of explaining how the world worked. Now that science had unraveled evolution and biology, it was time to discard primitive beliefs in God, angels, and any related silliness like heaven. My understanding of the universe was simple: it was godless, mechanical, and utterly pointless. The home I grew up in was also an alcoholic home. In order to survive, I learned to compartmentalize facts I didn't want to integrate into my life. I also became an alcoholic myself. After my near death experience, I stood at a crossroads. Either everything I had ever believed about a godless universe was wrong, or B, I'd had a drug trip. I chose B. That way, I could continue the life I knew of drinking and chasing popularity. So I locked my NDE away in a vault. I would have left it there except paranormal after effects started to happen to me. The greatest one was around my sister's death. She was dying from metastasized breast cancer. My family and I had been told that she had 2 weeks to live. During the night, as I tried to sleep in a chair, I sensed the light seeping in the window, traveling to my sister, and swirling in a slow vortex above her body. Each time I opened my eyes, I saw nothing. When I closed my eyes and tried to dismiss the feeling, it grew stronger. Then a voice, which was connected to the son I visited in my near-death experience, spoke to me. "She's afraid," it said. "Tell her about the light." What a silly thought, I responded. "She's not going to die now. She's gonna live 2 more weeks. Tell her," the voice urged. Still hesitating, I was shown how my sister's fear and hurt were blocking her from crossing over. I was also shown that I held the key to set her free. "Go to her," the voice urged. "Do it now." At last, I went. I knelt beside her, took her hand, and spoke into her ear. "God loves you so much," I said. Remembering her love for Jesus, I added, "Jesus loves you so much. He's so proud of all you've done on earth. You've been a wonderful pianist, a scholar, and a loving mother. He's so happy with everything you've done. But your body can't work anymore. It's time for you to come home. Jesus will take you with him. You'll be so warm and the light will fill you with the most amazing love." The memory of my near-death experience filled my voice. "I love you. We all love you." 20 minutes later, my sister suffered a violent hemorrhage that sent my brother and I running for help. In a panic, I forgot all about the light, all about the voice. "Help us! Help us!" Finally, a young doctor came and checked my sister. She briskly informed us, "Her heart is still beating, but it'll stop when it runs out of oxygen." Rage filled me. I wanted to scream, "How can you just let her die?" Then, all at once, I could feel my sister's spirit. Her energy was hovering in the room. In life, her love had always felt a certain way, it had a certain flavor. I felt it strongly now. It replaced my anger with joy. She told me, "I'm fine. I'm so wonderful." Rejoicing, she filled me, my brother, even the doctor and nurse, with her love. She also filled me with the light again, which reawakened in me memories of its brilliance, so much so that I struggled to conceal my joy. After a series of paranormal events like the one I had with my sister, the last pillar of my atheism toppled. It took 21 years for me to fully align with what I experienced during my near-death experience. In the end, 2 organizations saved the day: the International Association for Near-Death Studies (IANDS) and Alcoholics Anonymous AA. These 2 organizations helped me reach the point where I could tell God that I loved it and promised I would never turn away again, and I haven't. My mission, I have come to understand, is to overcome the egoic challenges that all humans face. With humor and humility, we're here to turn fear, anger, selfish greed and gloating pride into love and compassion for all life. Case 3. I Knew Their Hearts. Near-death experiencer Jeff Olson excerpted from I Knew Their Hearts. I felt the hustle and unrest of the hallway of a hospital. I watched the doctors and nurses as they went about their duties. I moved with ease all around them. I realized none of them were aware of me. They could not see me, but how could I see them? My perceptions were expanded. I knew each person I saw perfectly. I knew their joys and their sorrows. I knew their love, their hate, their pain, and their secrets. I knew everything about them, every detail, every motivation, and every outcome. I knew every emotion they were feeling, and I knew intuitively why they were feeling it. In an instant, with no contemplation, I knew them as well as I knew myself. I knew their hearts. I felt spontaneous, intense love for each and every one of them. Not a romantic love, but a perfect, compassionate love. I moved about the hospital with ease, pausing to take in the beauty of the people I was encountering. I felt their true essence and marveled at the connection I had to each of them, even though I had never met them before. Most of my life, I had actually avoided people. Now, everyone I saw was truly my brother or sister. In fact, it went even deeper than that. They were, in a strange sense, me. We were all connected pieces in a huge puzzle of oneness. Words Jesus had said rushed to my recollection. Inasmuch as ye have done it unto the least of these brethren, ye have done it unto me. Was he talking about the awareness I was experiencing? Did he feel the same thing I was feeling? Was this how he walked the earth, in the consciousness of knowing each individual soul at this deep level of love? I realized he didn't see himself as better than the beggar or the prisoner, he knew he was one with them. He knew them perfectly, in the same way I was experiencing the strangers I saw. We are all linked and equal in God's eyes. I was seeing it, feeling it, and experiencing it. Soulmate, this is a part of Zindagi Ki Roshni Consultancy. It has been established for those who have lost someone and for those who are very sad in their life. About 100 PDF books and 20 short audio books of this topic will be sent to those who join it. This data will be sent to their email or WhatsApp. If you want to join this organization, then please send WhatsApp message to this number.